Yeah, playlist. I'm here with JD, Peter, and John from So Soon the Truth. How's everybody doing today?
Hello, doing all right.
They're doing well.
Good, awesome, man. So we are going to basically just make a playlist based off of some of the influences and questions I ask you. Is there anything you don't want to name it?
Like it's like an inspirational playlist. I know, right? I don't like STT picks or something.
Yeah, there you go. SSTT picks.
Sounds like a naughty file for our dirty picks.
Is everybody good with that?
Yeah, it works. Sounds good.
So before y'all started playing musical instruments or any of that stuff, can y'all remember what y'all used to listen to?
Man.
I was a big into pop and top 40s. Really, I was like super into the Backstreet Boys and stuff. That was like when I was really younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, I'm not gonna. The Backstreet Boys like the first group or music I remember, holding a hairbrush and acting like I'm the lead singer in the mirror and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. I was really into growing up in my house. My dad and my brother and my sister and even my mom a little bit. Everybody played instruments, so I feel like everybody was very into rock because of my parents. So a lot of classics like Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Stones. And then I lived, like I said, in the same room with my brother when I was a kid. And he had me into Soundgarden and Silverchair and Nirvana as a kid, and Tool and all that is before I actually ever picked up an instrument. Besides in elementary we played saxophone, but that was all prior to that in third grade.
I grew up on just the radio. It was on the radio playing really, my first CD I bought was a Blink-182 CD though.
All right, well, so let's go with you remember what Backstreet Boys song you were singing in the mirror?
Oh man.
Which one didn't I sing?
No lie, I loved it. I knew all their names first and last. I had a poster. I had the VHS where they did the Halloween special music video of the show.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to watch that literally at least 3 times a week. I was obsessed with them.
It makes so much sense now.
Yeah. When I had the bleach blonde tips being Brian Luttrell.
Damn.
What's up? That's 90s of you.
Right?
Yeah. Man.
I always wanted to do that.
Definitely As Long As You Love Me.
Which one's in the Halloween video though? Isn't the one with the in costume? What was that?
Yeah, that was I think that was Millennium. That was it Larger Than Life? It might have been Larger Than Life. That was they were bangers. They really were. The production was good. The harmonies were on point. I always wanted to be what's his name? AJ the Bad Boy. Man, looking through Millennium discography, these really are all bangers. I remember the secret check at the end, The Perfect Fan. I used to listen to it with my mom. It's all about how he loves his mom and stuff. We would just bro out over that song.
You said Led Zeppelin?
I definitely always was super into Zeppelin, man. Like I said, my dad and my brother were huge into me getting into music, and they always had me listening to Zeppelin. I think the one I wanted to put on the playlist would be Since I've Been Loving You, because I just remember listening to that one, and with the two of them, they were both oh, listen to it, such raw production. You can hear the squeaking of his kick pedal, and sure enough, I listened close, and I was like, oh my god. You really can.
Yeah. You said the Beatles as well?
One of y'all want to pick a Beatles? I know we all like the Beatles, but
oh, really?
Yeah, I know we're all into it.
I'm not gonna lie, I only mildly like the Beatles though. It took me a while.
Yeah. I guess I'll say Michelle. That's a super classic.
A Day in the Life.
That's a super classic as well.
So funny you said that. Devin was just singing Michelle yesterday.
Bro, Rubber Soul is just all bangers.
For me, it was the Beatles. Once you going from not really having listened to them, you're oh, where the fuck do I start? It's so the discography is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they do got a shit ton of songs. You said Stones as well?
Oh, the Stones are the ones that the Beatles inspired me musically. I was oh, this is awesome. I was real into it, but I remember before I ever picked up a guitar, this is a silly story kind of, but I was playing Twisted Metal Black with my cousin as a kid, and they had Paint It Black as the opening song, and I remember we were talking about it, I was man, that's just such a cool part, and I was you know what, I think I want to learn that. And that was before I ever played a guitar, and so I was that was kind of a moment that inspired me that I was like, you know what, how hard could it be? And then I did, like, later on that year.
I remember that game too. That game was so badass, dude. Oh.
Amazing game.
Right. I went ahead and threw Painted Black on there.
Yeah.
Because
Painted Black's a banger for sure.
Soundgarden.
Ooh, that's all me. Let me see.
My brother was really big into music as well, and he's the one who actually got me into music. Neither one of us know how to play a fucking instrument to save our lives, but introduced me to like Soundgarden and Nirvana and all those '90s grunge bands, and that's kind of what I got my start on.
Yeah, dude. It's just there was so much good music back then, and like now I think a lot of people look back and they're like, oh, grunge, but like, man, what about, I don't know, there's just some amazing stuff. But like for Soundgarden, I'd say the Day I Tried to Live, Super Unknown was like constantly spinning in my brother's like radio or whatever all the time, dude. Like, he loved that record. Just the vocals, he just could wail, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, that dude could sing for sure. I always like the girly singers though, more the girlies, like to Taking Back Sunday and the emo. So I kind of missed the grunge bit too. That
was the next phase.
Another huge like party foul all the time. It's like, yeah, I don't really like Nirvana. It's like never a crowd pleaser.
I'm gonna be 100% honest.
So I just don't fucking say it.
100% honest with you. I don't like Nirvana either.
Bro, are you my fucking soulmate?
Like,
that makes me sad.
It was like one of the first things my brother introduced me to, and I think I respect it because it was one of those, I honestly don't give a fuck what you think about my music. I'm gonna play music, which I highly respect, but it's just not something I was really into, you know?
Totally. I think that like if you can get away from the mythos and there wasn't like all this like history and huge respect, legendhood and all that stuff, like it's totally okay. They're just another artist. Like, it's, if you don't like them, you don't like them.
No, 100%. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think Kurt Cobain really couldn't sing very well, which I always get shit for saying that. But
that's what turned me on to them, actually, though. Is I remember having that conversation before, where even like my family was like, I mean, this guy can't sing. Listen to him; he's just yelling. And I was like, oh shit, that's true. And later on, I would think back to that, like, you know what? Maybe you can just yell instead.
That voice is strong, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, Silverchair.
Ooh,
that's a good one too. I like Silverchair as well.
Let's see. Think back, man. It's been some years. I honestly haven't. It's funny because like I was thinking about stuff like I wanted to put onto the playlist, and I was like, man, I'm thinking about stuff that inspired me beforehand, and I was like, I need to go back and listen to some of these songs. It had been a really long time.
It was one of them that Silverchair did, which I'm probably going to get shit for saying that Kurt Cobain couldn't sing and then saying I like Silverchair, but fuck it. Very next sentence, but whatever, I don't care. Silverchair was pretty good.
I guess I'll go with Freak, man. Like, I don't know. That was another record that, like, it was always on. I don't know. Like, my brother loved them. I think that's the only record I heard from them, honestly. Our label, main dude at our label, Shane, he loves Silverchair, and he was telling me about some songs, and I was like, dude, I've never heard these songs. And I looked, and he's like, this is the album for me, like, most important one. And I was like, that's crazy, because, you know, there was the big book of CDs of like all the stuff that I ended up like listening to because of just my siblings, and like that was the only one in there from Silverchair, and I listened to it so much.
Yeah, that's the only one I think I'm pretty sure that's the only one I ever listened to as well. Blink 182.
Hell yeah.
Their whole discography up to self-titled. That's what like got me starting to play the guitars, wanting to learn things off Dude Ranch and Cheshire Cat.
Oh, really? That's nuts, man. That's awesome. You can put a couple of them if you can't pick just one, man. I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are we starting to go super early? Because Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, like everybody else, really, that was my album, like forever for them. I love that album so much.
I think that was the album that really kind of put them at the top. Is that's really what made them blow up right there, man. Because that was the one with all the goofy ass music videos and shit.
Yeah. Like they became like stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumpweed earlier for sure off Enema of the State. Dumpweed was the jam. Remember that? I heard that guitar part too, and like same thing. Like, I wanted to learn it. It's way easier than Painted Black, but it's like catchy as hell. You know. So yeah, Dumpweed for sure. Adam's song, no matter how huge it is, still the ultimate jam.
Now give you the feels. Give you the feels as a kid. As a kid, you're like, what am I feeling?
Adam's song really like.
Yeah, it was great.
No, it's funny. Actually, back to my fucking the seminal things for me. I remember wanting to go listen to Enema of the State. Speaking of Blink-182, and I was like, oh man, I want to go listen to this record because I heard him say the name of the record, and I was like, I know that this is in that same booklet. And I, as a kid, I'm like a young cat, and I like accidentally pulled out Enema from Tool and ended up listening to that record instead. So it was like,
dope.
I guess that's what sent me down the other path.
Right. Damn. Y'all could have been a pop punk band, huh?
Right?
Oh no, I hate pop punk though. I really don't enjoy it. But I love Blink-182. Even still, like nostalgia factor. But like I didn't like Green Day. I didn't like the other bands that were in the genre, like Sum 41, I guess, stuff like that. But I just like loved Blink-182. I don't know what it was about them. Maybe Tom's voice. He started getting me on like the whiny kind of emo voices.
Yeah, he did have a real weird voice.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know you said Painted Black and Blink-182. You mentioned also a saxophone or a jazz instrument. What was that?
Yeah, like when I was in elementary, we had to choose. They were like, you can either do band or bell choir. And I was like, bell choir sounds super lame. Like you literally just can only play one note. I was like, might as well do band.
Nah, so you got one in each hand?
Okay, well, see, I don't know because I wasn't in that. But yeah, like they were like, oh, well, choose one. So I was like, I'll do band. And I did, because my brother had an extra alto saxophone, that's what I decided to play. And I had the absolute shittiest elementary music teacher, and it was still a super rewarding experience. But this guy was like, could not control the class. Like it was just, and he didn't teach us much. I think I came out of there knowing only hot cross buns and not how to read off the page. But then I went to 6th grade, and they were like, oh, you took band in 5th grade, so we'll put you in concert band. And I was like, okay, maybe that's not such a good idea because I didn't learn enough, but whatever. I just winged it. So I played alto sax, and it was a blast, dude. I played all the way through high school.
So is that kind of your introduction into playing an instrument, or?
It wasn't the first, actually. Man, I guess I lied because when I was a little boy, like even young, I think I was probably like 5. They had me in piano lessons, which I hated. I was like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't get it. And then like by the end of it, I was like really starting to like it. And they actually had me perform a recital at U of H here at the Moore School of Music. I was a little kid, dude. I remember we had like a home video of it, and I do Old MacDonald. and like in the middle of it, I missed a note, and then I was just like played it off. It was like this big ass auditorium. I was like, man, I cannot. I remember being on stage, but I don't remember playing it. But man, watching that video is just nuts. I'm just like, wow, okay.
That is wild.
Anybody else got any first instrument stories, or?
Like 1st through 3rd grade, I was doing violin, which is cool. I wish I would have stuck with violin.
I never knew that.
Yeah, at our elementary school, they had like they didn't have band, but they had like orchestra. It was yeah, it was a pretty nice school. But we were doing violin, and then after that, I was like, I don't play violin anymore. But my mom was like, you gotta play an instrument, because she was like always working, so she always wanted me to like do stuff after school. I guess I didn't run around act crazy, I guess. But that's picked up the trombone. I wanted to do saxophone myself, but I didn't know JD. It's just like happenstance. But they told me, like, yeah, you have to do a year of clarinet, and then you can switch to saxophone. And I was like, I'm not playing fucking clarinet.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. And then I want to do drums, and then they said the drums was full. I want to do trumpet. They say trumpet was full, so I was like, okay. I did trombone because there's only 4 people there. But I ended up really enjoying trombone. It was a lot of fun. Did that 3 years in middle school. And that's it. Other than guitar.
Cool, man. That's badass. How did So Soon the Truth start?
You want to take that one, JD?
Sure. So for this band and like the genesis of this like name and stuff, it's been about 5-6 years now. But I guess I'll drop and give you like a brief history of before, because like we've been friends for a long time, like getting closer to 15 years for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
But so basically when we got out of high school, you know, we all kind of did the college thing for a second, and then I know me personally, I was like, okay, I'm digging some of this, but I'm not digging paying for it, and I'm not passionate about it. So we started being like, fuck it, just let's blow off classes, and we'll go back to my mom's house and load up the bong and just like jam. And we were doing that for
Hell yeah, brother.
a while before, like at the beginning of it, I was playing with this other drummer and another friend of ours who ended up being in So Soon just on bass. And then Pete was just like over there kind of kicking it. Then he started playing with us. And then we kind of went through one band name and one lineup. And then that made way for John to come in. And we had like a little break where it was like, what are we going to do? But we were in a band before this band called Fressa. Then we had like a layoff for like a year or two. We were just doing our own things. And then So Soon just started. Like one day I remember me and Pete went to like Hooters or something and had some beers and came back to his place, as any good story starts. And,
Sounds romantic.
yeah. And we took our guitars out of the cases and made some magic together. And then it's been going on ever since, happily ever after, I guess.
Hey,
So
yeah.
I normally don't ask about the names because I know a lot of people get those questions a lot. But y'all's name is so different, I guess, that I just have to ask. Where did it come from? Is it referencing something or?
It started, we were brainstorming first with just words and trying to find meaning behind stuff. We were almost called Language of the People. That really like what was our name. Like we picked it and then like the next day we just switched it. But So Soon the Truth, I don't know how I know we were making lists of names, just trying to figure it out one night. But I feel like the name So Soon the Truth has a lot to do with kind of like how perspective we think of things, like honesty and how it comes to you or how it's forced upon you sometimes. But the meaning, we didn't really come up with like a super meaning. It just kind of came
it's
after.
something to each of us,
Yeah.
And it sounded cool to us. We went off the tongue well, so.
Felt right.
Yeah,
You came up with it, right, Pete?
Yeah,
I think Pete's the one that put it out there.
That's pretty dope. Another thing I wanted to mention is so the first time I listened to a So Soon the Truth song, I believe it was Unkept, and then
nice.
It reminded me a lot of Anthony Green, right?
Yeah, we love him.
But
very much.
I think the more that I listen to So Soon the Truth, I no longer hear Anthony Green, and I hear like I don't know. It's so nuts, man. It's all over the place with that. The versatile voice. He said that. So you got Peter and JD. Y'all do the vocals, right?
Right.
Yes.
How do y'all form those?
Dude, yeah. For my view on it, really, I think it's really kind of crazy because it just happens really effortlessly. Like we've never had we've been writing for a long time together, and I feel like maybe because sometimes we're doing a little more intricate things, it's kind of obvious like who should be singing, because the other person is kind of spazzing out on the guitar or whatever. But I don't know. I was actually trying to think the other day, like, is there any time we've like stepped on each other's toes or like, hey, no, you sing this or I sing that? It's really like almost the opposite of like, hey, can you sing this or help me with that? Even in our lyrical writing, like the words itself, a lot of times I'll notice like we'll write stuff, and maybe because it's like a bit ambiguous, but when it comes together, it feels like we were writing it together, like with a theme or something. Yeah, it's really uncanny.
What were some of the bands that kind of got y'all into the style of music that y'all write? I know I mentioned Anthony Green, so I'm sure Circus Survive.
Yeah, hands down for sure. For me, the hugest influence.
Yeah, it's enormous. Who wants to go? I'll start.
Y'all go. Y'all name like.
I made a list, so
nice.
I'll say this, man. Like when I decided I wanted like to get into this kind of music, because in all the iterations of this group of people who like all the bands that we've been in, we've all played the same style with varying degrees of like, is it super busy or is it less busy? But it's like always the same kind of shit.
Yeah.
The first time I was like, this is the style, like the way I want to go. I was introduced to Tremulant EP from Mars Volta. And I think this was like in 7th or 8th grade for me. And I heard it and I was like just so blown away, and like I couldn't help but like, it's weird, but like I was like, man, they almost give me this vibe like an oldie vibe, but they're doing something totally new. And it was just really weird. But I remember hearing the song Concertina, and I was like, okay, Texas dudes. Then I got into After Driving, but it was I was like, Texas dudes, they're playing like all the right stuff, hitting all the right notes, making me just feel like everything is new. Like they just reinvented rock to me, and I was like, wow, I want to do that. Like they are speaking my language. Like this is what I want to do for sure.
Yeah,
that was my biggest one.
I'd say like for me, Radiohead was a big influence. I know we don't really play a lot of the ambient, stuff, but listening to them and like Tom York and all those guys, the way they, they are together, really spoke to me. So I was like a huge fan of them and everything they did.
Yeah, amazing.
You know what? I honestly haven't listened to a whole lot from Radiohead. I don't know why.
You can literally jump in.
They're so good.
Yeah, every record rules. Like every
in Rainbows. In Rainbows is so bangy. And OK Computer. Those are my two favorites.
I remember the OK Computer, but I don't think I've listened to a whole lot of it.
Kid A is where I really fell in love. Like I remember I was young when I got introduced to that one, and I was like, what is, again, it was like earth shattering. Like you can do this. Like what is all this instrumentation y'all are using?
For me, the first album I got that was like super influential was Tell All Your Friends by Taking Back Sunday. I like listen to that front to back. Even now I'll still like drive and listen to that album just constantly.
Taking Back Sunday is fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, I wanted to be Adam. First I wanted to be Tom DeLonge, then I wanted to be Adam Lazar. I was like, I gotta get freaking lip ring stat.
Oh yeah. So the Mars Volta, you're gonna have to pick a different song. Concertina is not on here, believe it or not.
No Tremulant, huh? Let's do Roulette Dares.
I knew you were gonna say it. I was gonna try to say it at the same time, but I didn't want to seem like I was just being weird. But I knew you were gonna say it because that song is so. That's what it first came to my head too.
I mean, I love that whole record. To me is like every single song is perfect and amazing, but like Roulette Dares, like that riff at the beginning, it's like one of the things that is digestible and understandable off the rip, and just the way they build, I'm like, wow. Speechless. Especially seeing them live, dude. Oh my god, I was just what?
Radiohead.
Ooh, man.
Choose wisely.
Yeah, that's a big burden on John's shoulders. One Radiohead song.
Big bird on your shoulders.
Reckoner.
It's a classic, yeah. Oh, what would you have picked?
Yeah.
No, I got my two in my head already.
Honestly, that or like
surprise y'all.
I mean,
Weird Fishes. Yeah, that's a
How to Disappear Completely, I think, is the best song ever that they've done.
Oh my god, that one is so beautiful.
John, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that song is so you really can't miss. Even Reckoner is tight too.
I think that's banger alert.
Yeah, it's hard to miss with Radiohead for sure. Somehow you did.
Taking Back Sunday.
Ghost Man on third.
Oh yeah.
And then like when I heard it, like that was the younger before I really knew like much about pedals and stuff. And like you can hear like the phaser. Like now I know it's like a phaser or something. But just hearing that riff with it on there, I was like, man, this is super cool. Like this stuff was mind blowing.
Yeah, I think the Q Without the E was the first song I ever heard by
same.
Sunday. And man, I recently heard the Timberwolves of New Jersey song.
Oh, banger.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, I don't know how I missed that fucking song, dude.
So good.
Your first album, Familiar Violence, was released in 2017. Y'all remember what y'all were listening to around that time?
I could venture a couple of guesses. I do remember some. Do you guys have something y'all want to start with?
I think Hail the Sun. I was listening to a lot of Hail the Sun.
Absolutely.
I was like super love Hail the Sun. After if Circa wasn't so godly in my head, I would say Hail the Sun is my favorite band, but hard to not say Circa.
Circa Survive is they're fucking legends, man. Anthony Green.
Yeah. I think he's really the true last true front man. He's like a real old school front man. He just controls everybody. He can like control like the whole vibe in the building. The stuff he says sounds poetic in between songs and stuff.
Right, yeah. He's also like super fucking down to earth too, man. I follow him on Twitter, and he's just super fucking nice to everybody.
Just a good dude.
It's great, yeah. It's great. Very open about his life too.
Right, yeah.
I would there was a period from like I guess the whole time we were writing that record. There was a record for that, but it's like not out on streaming services and stuff. But the whole time we were working on that album, I really feel like a big one for me was like Pete first told me about Foxing because he saw him I think with Brand New, and we ended up checking them out, and then we were like right in the middle of writing for that record, and I think Dealer dropped in 2016, and I heard like Night Channels and Eiffel and Glass Coughs, and that was like Connor's vocal style really kind of opened up new real estate in my head. Like, wow, this is really different, but also really good. Like he just approached it in a unique way, and we all love them. But that band was new and definitely germane to all the writing and topics and styles and everything that we'd used on that, in my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love Foxing so much.
Excellent band.
Hell of the Sun.
Oh my god, they're so amazing. Do you listen to Hell of the Sun?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh my god,
actually,
they're like stupid good.
I think it was the Mothership tour or the Acceptance Speech. I don't remember. Fuck, man. One of the Dance Gavin Dance tour shows. It was like 2018, and I saw Hell of the Sun live in Dallas.
So good, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. I also listened to his interview on
Lead Singer Syndrome.
Dude, he's a beast, dude. To be able to like sing and drum like that, and then
oh my god,
he said he loves drumming so much, dude. For somebody to love drumming so much that he has to drum half of the show.
Man, he doesn't even like slack off. He's like
no
in it, just crazy changing patterns all the time. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, dude, he's nuts.
Must have amazing cardio.
Yeah, right? His lung capacity must be like fucking 200%.
Yeah, definitely no smoking for him.
Is there a song, y'all?
I would definitely say, "Will They Blame Me If You Go Disappearing?" That's like one of my favorite movies. I love when like the rock songs kind of hit more like grooves instead of just heavy things, but it still makes you move, like very like Minus the Bear type stuff. It's not exactly like that. They use a lot more distortion and stuff, but it's like dancey, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of moshy.
I feel like that's a really big new wave coming up as well. Like that funky type, dancey riffs in the middle of the songs, man. It's like the new breakdowns.
Yeah, I love that.
Is there anybody else that wants to throw a Hell of the Sun song on there? I know y'all all kind of dig that.
John, have you? I was gonna say, have you thrown one? Okay, yeah, sure, I'll do one. I'm gonna go off a different record, but
that's nice.
Elephantitis is like, I think it's either their best or second best of my favorite. I'll do Anti-Eulogy. That's my favorite Hell of the Sun song.
Yes, it's Circa.
Oh, always,
yeah.
How do you choose? JD showed me Circa. I had never heard of him, so I linked up with JD. That shit, like, especially having already like, I feel like processed so much music. Like, then I got to that, I was like, man, this is truly amazing.
Yeah,
the way you can texture guitars and stuff, and not. I feel like if either guitar you're just hearing that one guitar, it kind of almost doesn't make sense. You know, like they rely on each other a lot.
Yeah, unorthodox writing. Exactly, like the parts aren't standalone. It's like they only exist to serve one another sometimes, and that's like so cool to me.
Yeah,
so much
orchestral.
Yeah, I'll do Your Friends Are Gone. Always connected with that one.
I'll Find a Way off of Violent Waves.
I knew you would do Violent Waves.
I was gonna do Violent Waves. That's cool.
I was gonna do Jaturna if you did it. If I did Jaturna, I think I would have done Wish Resigned.
We left John a slam dunk. Jaturna.
Yeah.
For me, probably Stop the Fucking Car. Honestly, that was like my favorite song by them whenever I first got into them. So
That's a banger for sure.
Very dank.
Man, I
Foxing.
love Sir. Oh, man. Foxing is like my favorite newer band that I've heard like later in life. It's like they just they go. Y'all go first.
Bit by a Dead Bee Part 2, I guess.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
Deep
nice.
cut. Well, it's not deep, but it is also deep at the same time.
Pretty deep. It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Got a part 2 that's deep.
I'll be honest, I've never listened to Foxing.
If you did part 2, that would have been deeper.
This
I did
playlist
say
is gonna
part
be a
2.
delight for you then.
Uh-oh. True.
I think the only I've heard his vocals, and that was because of A Lot Like Birds.
It can be
Oh,
off-putting.
man.
Oh, that song's pretty cool.
I like that song, yeah.
It's a really good song, yeah. But I've never really listened. I never listened to the band, so
They rule,
He
man.
controls so much with his vocals, man. That's
Yeah. It definitely I felt like when I first listened to it, some notes he hit I felt like were a little sour for me. But then the more I listened to it, I just really loved it. I'll do Eiffel.
Okay, that leaves me to do Nearer My God, and I'll do Game Shark. That song I was like, man, I was not feeling the singles when I first heard them from that record. And then the more time I spent with them, the more I was like, man, these are so, like, they were already so innovative. And then I was like, wow, y'all are just going to go this completely other direction. And then I, like, was just so impressed later on because I realized this is dope. Like, wow.
Very Radiohead-esque for sure.
Yeah, I heard that. A few things in there that I was not expecting.
Ooh.
This song is called Exist Warp Break by the band Pulses. If you like what you hear, you can go check them out at Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, pretty much wherever you get your music from. You can also find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pulses VA. They also have these really cool green vinyl variants of Speak It Into Existence available on their Bandcamp, so go check that out. And if you want to get a shout out like this on the show, go to my buymeacoffee.com/VI playlist pod, and I'll shout out your band, your business, whatever you want. I'll wish somebody happy birthday, pretty much anything. Everything over there is fairly priced. If you like what you hear, go stop by and support an episode. We'll get back to the show. Thank you. Are there other themes present in y'all's albums?
I would say
pretty much right, like about the same thing. Not on purpose, but I feel like it's usually like heartbreak or loss, drugs.
Yeah.
there was a lot of that on that album for sure.
During the writing of that album, there was a lot.
A lot. No, I agree with Pete. We can be thematic though. We come up with at least a couple, if not a few.
Political one. We wrote a political one on that album.
Yeah, about more or less just police brutality. We took a swing at that on one of the songs.
That's cool, man.
I mean, Familiar Violence to me, I thought was kind of like a little self-explanatory, especially because the title track, the To a Fault, was just about obvious. I guess what came across me was like domestic violence and regular, in general, like things that we don't necessarily perceive as like, wow, maybe this isn't right, or maybe this is like abusive, and you don't realize it.
Yeah,
that's where I kind of the lyric that gave the album the title came from. Just kind of talking about everyday shit that's like we're so desensitized to, it just seems normal, you know what I mean? And like one of the songs, like you said, or like we said, the idea of everything, police brutality, I mean, that's familiar violence. We're used to police beating the shit out of so-called suspects or just literally doing whatever they want, and we just accept it because it is familiar violence. I think there was a bunch of examples we talked about when we decided on that for the name, so that was thematic.
That's kind of one of the things that I noticed about this album in particular was the theme of it. It was pretty good. And I really
Exit Wounds is about domestic violence too. Like we did really touch on that a lot in here.
And too, like we said, talking about I don't know if I would go so far as to say necessarily addiction, but I mean, there's all kinds of self-abuse, and I think that's referenced in like Perfect Scar, Traction.
Traction, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then there's more standard relationshipy stuff that's intangible in all directions. I thought was kind of
separation anxiety.
Yeah, all that. It was really all tied into I guess the title was the theme.
Yeah. So, who do y'all draw the lyrical inspiration from?
Ooh, for me, I'll go. I think that I have I'll give you like my top 5 most important lyricists for me, and I'll make it quick. Number 1, Conor Oberst, for sure. I think that he is like probably the best American songwriter of our generation.
Oh, dude, 100%, man, 100%.
I absolutely love him. I probably would have never started singing over any of our music if like playing one of his songs in front of somebody didn't give me the confidence to do it. And they were like, why don't you just sing? And I was like, damn, you know what? I never thought about that because I never wanted to be a singer. And
see, Conor Oberst is one of those guys. He's a lyricist through and through, man. Like, dude, Bright Eyes and that whole, I don't know, he's got like a real shaky kind of voice too.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, a haunting.
Off-putting for a lot of people too. Like when I was younger and I got introduced to him and I got into him, I was like showing him to friends and they were like, "This guy can't fucking sing," and I was like, "Whoa,
yeah,
pump the brakes." Whoa, no, don't say that. No, but yeah, he's my number 1. The rest of them are purely fluid. I'm just going to rattle them off. I love Keith Buckley. I think he's one of the better lyricists out there. Anthony Green, one of the best lyricists out there. Donovan Malero, one of the best lyricists out there. And Tom York. I think that's my top 5. And, oh, wait, no. You know what? I'm going to have to make it 6 because I recently, like not that recently, but like the last year or 2 years, got really into Frightened Rabbit. And I think Scott Hutchinson like has to be mentioned. He was just like he burst onto my musical scene, and he's like on my Rushmore now because out of everything he did was just so good, and the story's so tragic, and his lyrics are so honest, and he has like such a real way of discussing like loss and romance and just life. It's awesome. If you never listened to him, especially for anybody who's bummed out, like. That's my go-to.
What about you, Peter?
Definitely Anthony Green, and I think Donovan Malero is the best thematic writer. Like all his songs are about the same thing, but not the same thing, but they all have like different themes. But he stays like within the context of each song. It's like pretty amazing to me.
Yeah. Without
sounding corny or forced, because I personally don't like themed stuff. Like kind of like people are really like Coheed and Cambria and stuff because it's real like. Has a theme and storybook stuff. I think it makes it a little corny to me personally. Yeah. But so for him doing that and me like loving it, that was just like huge to me. That was really brilliant writing. Pretty much all he said too. And then I'll also add Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw. I love his lyrics. Well, that's probably it.
Any no honorable mentions even for like
maybe like Emery. I like the dudes from Emery, right? Even though they can have some lowly stuff here and there.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
Let's go with Conor Oberst. Is there anything in particular that stands out from Bright Eyes or his solo shit? Or
oh my God, Bright Eyes is the best.
I think that this is like so weird. I was just thinking about this before we even like you offered and we agreed to do this. I was like, man, Cape Canaveral off his self-titled. When it comes to just a well-written song and being lyrically like one of the most like illustrative, and it's like an empirical song, like you can see and hear and taste and feel everything he mentions, and it's like it feels like to me like an American experience, which like I know everybody's not psyched about America right now, but I feel like to me that's the perfect song. Like I listen to Cape Canaveral and I'm like, wow, you just like summed it all up.
I'll do mine from Bright Eyes. I think Down in a Rabbit Hole is like really well told, and you can see it and feel like you're there drugged out with them. It's all about like all that stuff, man. I listen to that song Weekly, for sure, still. From the moment I heard it till now, honestly. I love that song so much.
Every Time I Die.
Oh man, that's tough, but I'm gonna say I think Pedal was like the one that first of all, Low Teens, when that dropped, I think was like the best record of that year, and I was like so blown away because they've done so much great work over the course of their career, but Low Teens is amazing, and Pedal, especially, like once you know the background of what he was going through during the writing of the record, it hits home. I was like, man,
yeah, it's nuts to think that he's got like a degree in fucking like English or some shit.
Yeah,
like English degree. Yeah,
he was a teacher.
Yeah, and his lyrics are so fucking. Oh man.
Yeah, pretty beastly. I'm gonna go with a classic, Ebola Rama.
Yeah, dude. For some reason, I don't like good music at first. Because I didn't like Every Time I Die either, but now they're one of my favorite bands. I literally, my top 3 bands, man, are Say Anything, Every Time I Die.
Oh, I love Say Anything.
Oh yeah, dude, and Dance Gavin Dance. But the only reason I throw Dance Gavin Dance in there is because one of my first concerts that I ever went to, 2008, 2007. It was Dance Gavin Dance. It was with Johnny, like the original lineup, Johnny and all them. So
good stuff.
Yeah, but Frightened Rabbit.
The song that that got me into them is I Wish I Was Sober. That song has fucked me up many times. Like I've really like listened to it so many times, and I'm just like, man, this is such a bummer. Like hearing his experience. Like I encourage anybody who has never listened to them to like read about Scott Hutchinson, because he's just a big figure. Like he was an amazing dude. And it's a really tragic story, but what he left behind is some of like the most powerful and, to me, helpful music out there. I mean, I know when I started playing music, I was like, I want to do this because like when I'm bummed out, this is what makes me feel better. Like I want to put something out there for when somebody else, when they're bummed out, maybe they feel like me. Maybe they can feel more understood, feel better. You know what I mean? Like that's how it started. And then obviously lots of other things start to be a part of it. But yeah, that's how I think Frightened Rabbit is like the perfect example of a band that does just that. It's just like therapeutic.
Yeah. And then Donovan.
Yeah.
Siamvar is super dope. Anticoagulant.
Glassjaw.
Jesus Glue.
That's a good one.
And Emery.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Let's go with, I think, in a win-win situation.
Put By All Accounts too. That's my Emery jam.
It's a good song.
Before we talk about the newest record, Were You Ever Really There, I wanted to say congratulations on the 20,000 streams. That's pretty badass, especially for.
Thank you
so much.
So, every time I listen to that album, the more I listen to that album, the more I fall in love with that album. It's such a good fucking album.
Oh, dope, dude. Thanks.
Very nice of you. Thanks, man.
I've listened to that album probably like 6 times in the last week. It's so fucking good, though.
Dude, man, same time. I jammed the shit out of it, too. It's so funny. People are like, you listening to this in your car? I'm like, yeah, I love this shit.
Right?
This shit is cool to me.
Oh, yeah.
Especially right now, man. Like, can't even jam. Like, I'm going to listen to it.
Bro, yes. We had 2 tours canceled. Damn COVID stuff.
Damn, dude.
Not that I don't believe in it or anything, but it's like, it just still sucks.
Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. I don't remember who it was. Somebody was like, of course I jam my own music. I wouldn't want to put out something that I wouldn't fucking listen to.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any like direct inspirations for that album?
I made a list.
Did you?
I sure did, dude. I'm swear to God, bro. I'm out here just prepping.
Hell yeah, come prepared. I like that.
Yeah, I prep, bro. I'm prepped. Yeah. So I had a couple. I already actually listed a few of them, so I just wrote that. But anyways, one of the big ones that like I will always come back to for when we like initially were starting to write for this record, because it was a process and it was weird. Like we almost worked in reverse. Like we were just like lollygagging for the first few months, and then we had to kick it into high gear because we set like the record date, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
But I got really into Counterparts, like really shortly after we put out Familiar Violence, and I was jamming them a lot. There's like one or two spots in the record where I was like, and a whole song that I don't feel like I would have even ever written without listening to them as much as I did. That was a big influence for me. Same time or it's like we were already pretty much done writing Familiar Violence, but I was always like, okay, I like Dance Gavin Dance, and then I guess like Mothership dropped near the end of us writing Familiar Violence, and I really went back and like jammed them a lot because I feel like I liked a lot of the other bands in the scene, and I had never gotten into them, and then I did, and I think that definitely. I know Pete was already into them, but it definitely had a few big influential moments on me. Some of the writing and even John Mess's vocals, all of it. It was just like that really, I'd say those two are the biggest ones for Were You Ever Really There for me.
I'm a Kurt era DGD fan.
Same.
I like Happiness. I'm not that into Self-Titled.
Yeah, dude, I love Kurt. Anything Kurt puts out, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, Kurt's great.
Although,
I'll be honest, man,
you know what? I didn't dig. What was that fucking group called? Eternity Forever so much.
Oh, you really? Oh man, everybody loves that group. You didn't like Eternity
Yeah,
Forever?
I don't know. I just wasn't digging it.
I think it's real groovy. It was more probably groovy than anything he'd done previously.
Yeah, definitely vocally it was very
Yeah.
almost
poppy.
R&B pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like R&B touches and stuff too. I felt like I was like, it's a bit much for me. I like when he gets loud, that yelly style he has.
Yeah, he's got that that project with Thomas Erack, that Pushover. Have y'all heard that?
Yeah.
We were gonna open up for them. They were gonna come to Houston, and then it just didn't happen.
Oh shit, dude, that's awesome. Thomas Erack just released that. Y'all hear that new song he released?
I've been checking him, man. I love we all love the Fall of Troy. Doppelganger is like
Doppelganger is amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
Insanely good album.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked out of the two singles, the first one I listened to a lot. I was really into it. And the second one, I had listened like half of it. I was at work, not paying attention, so I need to go back and listen again.
Yeah. Peter, you got anything that you were listening to for like direct inspiration for that? You got off the topic there a little bit, but
for this album, I don't know, because I've really gotten into like folk music stuff that I feel like didn't really translate. But I think I was kind of purging that music, so I was feeding myself progressive post-hardcore for so long. Like, God, I genuinely loved it, but I don't know, I was kind of getting like maybe worn out by the sound or something. I just needed other sounds, so I was doing a lot of listening to hip hop and folk music.
Man, that's fine. Throw some of them on there.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Let's see. From Monsters of Folk, I'll put His Master's Voice. Listen to that song a lot. Let's do Wilco, You Are My Face. That'll be it.
Love all those, honestly, too, bro. Speaking my language as usual.
For sure, yeah.
John, you got anything?
I mean, we mentioned them earlier. Really, Every Time I Die, I guess, was. I feel like we got a little bit heavier with this album, a little bit more rocky. I don't know. I wasn't listening to any new music really. Like, I was into La Dispute a lot. I got into them late, so. But yeah, I don't think it was really anything that translated for me besides a little bit of like the heavier parts.
Yeah. You want to pick a La Dispute song?
Oh hell yeah, man!
Steve Austin.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, I love that.
Dude, where should I go from? I guess from Rooms of the House.
What's he gonna pick? Is it one of the women?
I was thinking about that, bro. No,
what you gonna do about it, woman?
True.
Maybe Woman in the Mirror.
Whoa, man.
I'm a Wildlife guy.
Wildlife is good, bro.
I'm more into the Kings of the River.
I haven't dove into their other albums really, but I've listened to Wildlife a lot.
Yeah,
it's funny to me.
I think
Is it?
We'll need to pick this conversation up later.
Okay.
He said every time I die too. I think I don't know if you got to choose it every
Yeah,
time I die song.
John and JD are the heavy guys. I mean, they listen to soft music too, but they like heavy music a lot more.
Oh man, yeah. I'll throw something out there. So JD, you picked from Low Teens. What'd you pick, Pete?
Ebola Rama.
I picked Ebola Rama.
So do Pigs is Pigs.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
That's a jam. Nice. That's a tasty one too.
Tasteful. It's been a while too. That's the Big Dirty era, like 07.
That's some hot shit.
It's been 13 years, brother.
You said Counterparts was another one?
Absolutely, man. And I'll have to do the record that came out at the time, which is You're Not You Anymore. And I'll go with the title track. That dude, I mean, I didn't even mention him, but he is a lyricist too, man. Like a very nice one.
Brandon Murphy?
Yeah.
And then, is there any like thing that y'all are currently listening to? If y'all want to like look at your Spotify.
I can share all about that.
In the past, like, I'm gonna say probably like 2 months. As much as Spotify can be like a controversial since they're making it tough on musicians sometimes, I love Spotify because it introduces me to a lot of artists I probably wouldn't have heard otherwise.
Yeah.
And Andy Schaaf came up on my like daily mix. So I heard a song that I liked and I ended up going back checking out his whole discography, dude. And it's like 100% all great songs. And it's unique too. Like it has like a very vintage vibe, like throwback feel. It's cool. It's really cool. And he's a Canadian singer. But yeah, I would throw on the list Early to the Party is a great song, and shout out to Spotify for showing me that artist because I can't get over him.
And shout out to JD for sending that artist to me.
And then Andy Hull, like I just I don't know if y'all like, or if you like Manchester Orchestra. I was about to say United, Manchester Orchestra, but it's funny because I started listening to Andy Schaaf, and then he came out and tweeted like out of the blue. I saw it. He's like, "Man, I would listen to this guy read the McDonald's drive-through menu or something like that." I was like, "Dude, yes, 100%." It's so good.
John, y'all got any? John and Peter, y'all got any current listens?
Yeah, I can give you a couple. So this song called Beige by Tradewind.
Oh.
I like woke up one day from sleeping and like this song was in my head. I like woke up to the song and I couldn't remember what it was called. I had heard it on Spotify and ended up finding it the other day. So I feel like I have to mention that.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good one. I've been into the new Tiger Wine that got released. I never really been into them, but they had the song Nosebleed. That one was pretty cool. And then Loathe, I just got into them recently.
We haven't seen them everywhere.
I have too.
Yeah, maybe try Two-Way Mirror by Loathe. But that's like their most played song though. So let's do Is It Really You instead.
Let me do I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers.
Good song, great artist.
Just listen to that nonstop, crazy nonstop.
This is an excellent record.
Yes, and I needed it at the time. I was extremely sad. No, I'm not so sad. Let me do. I've been listening to a lot of this band Jank. I don't think they're a band anymore, but I think I got them to Spotify too. Actually, like for you, do What I Like About You, but it's spelled all kind of weird. Like that band has been really getting me. And I just moved in with a new roommate, and so we've been like sharing stuff, you know, like because we're bored and around each other all the time now. And we've just been watching like live Jank vids, listening to Jank so much. Did you put To You? Should I not do another Andy Schaaf song?
No, go ahead.
I got to put, To You by Andy Schaaf too. I've been listening to that song. So he sent it to me when I was probably like a month ago or something, or maybe a little more. But I've like been listening to it every single day. I think it's masterfully written, so chill, so elegant.
Dude, I found so much good music, like just from doing this right here. There's so many people. Like my favorite thing, man. I go back. I listen to every playlist that either I make or somebody else makes. So, man,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And my Spotify is all kinds of fucked up though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was telling my girlfriend the other day, like I was like, sometimes I just want to go back and listen to something I don't really listen to anymore, but I don't do that on my Spotify because I don't want something I don't listen to all the time coming up.
Yeah, you're throwing it in the daily mix, and it's like, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm not feeling this right now.
Yeah, it's not that I don't still love it. It's just that I'm not in love with it anymore. And
to commit to it.
Yeah.
Is there any bands that y'all think more people should listen to? Like, as far as like fellow, like unsigned DIY band y'all tour with, anything like that?
For sure. Lilac Kings.
All that, they're the homies.
Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely Oklahoma, but I'm pretty sure it's Tulsa.
You listened to that new drop they did yesterday?
I did, yeah, with Gillespie. That was awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Good, man.
I was digging.
Man, they're so freaking good, and they're just nicest guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Great people.
Say Don't Pretend. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason, like
that's a banger.
That one really has stuck with me. Like, Shiver was what I got introduced to them on, and like I still think that song is like masterful. But I mean, they have so many good ones. It's just that when Don't Pretend dropped, I was like, man, there's another thematic writer, you know, like that, and it worked, and it was very like poignant. I was impressed.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
Other bands, I'll throw another one out there. Someone I always stand. I love these guys. Televangelists. I think they're super, super talented, insanely talented.
You know, I'll be honest, that band right there, for a band who doesn't break over 2,000 monthly listeners, I see their fucking name everywhere.
Yeah,
they're excellent,
like
man.
Backing band for Kurt Travis and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, where are people listening to this band at? Because they don't have very many monthly listeners, but I literally see their name all over the fucking internet.
Yeah, they're like a very much band too. They're so technical and they're so tight live. Like it's all of them. Like the bassist is going crazy, both guitars are going crazy, the drums, everything's just like their live show is really impressive.
Is there a song from them you want to throw on there?
I'm gonna do Letters. The first song I heard like super got me into them.
Great song. First one I heard from them too.
All right. Is there any more, or is that
just like we're talking about like homies? I think we would be remiss if not to mention an author, a poet, or some of our good friends. And we're like label mates, and we've actually also been friends now for almost 10 years with those. Well,
yeah,
a few of those guys, but we've been gigging together with So Soon and an author, a poet since from the jump. Like it's they're great friends. Yeah, absolutely. They are some stand-up dudes. And if anybody sees Mike Ramiro's guitar, please.
Oh yes,
yeah,
just got his stuff stolen.
It's terrible,
shit, dude. That sucks, man.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to mention somebody else, too. Some of the other homies, Blood Between Us.
Those are some homeboys. Love them.
Those Men in Mountains, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Good one. Yeah. That's a good one, dude. And I'm so disappointed because, like, back to the COVID stuff and the tours, like, I had been working with our label and countless other people in different cities and states to book, like, this April run. I was so stoked for, and we had it all lined up for. And Angles was going to do a few shows with us. Yeah, and then we had a show lined up with Body Thief. Those are two of the bands in the game who we have not actually gigged together, but we would have. But yeah, they should be mentioned. Like I listen to them both like on a daily basis. Those dudes are awesome.
Dude,
awesome.
Yeah, I listen to Angles nonstop. They're so good.
Hey, dude, they are pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie, Angles.
Yeah, they're killer, man.
Oh my god, it's so fun.
All right, let's go an author, a poet.
I will say let's do, I don't want to do Monster, but I also don't want to do Better Days. Courage.
In my eyes. Or Courage is jam too, for sure.
Blood Between Us?
Guilty Bystander.
You said Men in Mountains? Is that?
Yes, the Devil is a Married Man. It's all of our jams. We listen to that on tours so much, like right after we like had met them and played with them, like man, we could like that was like our tour anthem, you know. We just could not stop listening to that song.
Body Thief.
I want to throw Sour Sounds.
Yeah, song tight.
There's like a few I was thinking, but I do love that one, and I know Pete loves it.
And In Angles.
You kick this one, Pete.
Oh my god, I love this band so much. Let's go with Magnolia.
I knew it, bro.
Is there a song that you like to play live?
I love playing Second Love live, like every time. It's so fun.
Let's see. What do you think, John?
To play live? Oh, I mean, yeah, Second Love, alternate ending. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We could do Second Love on the playlist, and then could I close the show, I guess, with... No, not close it. Open it with alternate ending?
Y'all want to do that or a betting man?
We can do a betting, man.
Don't matter to me.
We'll do a
I
betting
say
man?
let's go. Let's do a betting man.
All right. Are y'all working on new music or working on anything new?
So, not currently. Actually, like, we had a bassist, and then like we ended up going our separate ways from him, and we started with a new guy, Tanner, and we only had like 3 or 4 practices together, maybe, and one of us tested positive for COVID, and got the other people infected.
Oh no!
So like that's the last time.
I blame it on the mandatory makeout at practice rule. That definitely needs to be abolished.
Well, don't blame it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one that obeyed it.
Damn. So are y'all is it y'all already clear from it or?
Yeah, everybody's all in the clear. Luckily,
Thank God.
But then everything just like in society started falling apart more and more. So it was like not even supposed to get together and shit. And them two are still been working nonstop.
Yeah.
Did anybody have any severe side effects or anything, or everybody?
Not me.
Luckily, no.
That's good, man. That's awesome. Well, not awesome, but it's good that y'all.
Yeah.
It's awesome that y'all got
No, it is. It is awesome that we didn't like get hit too hard. Thank God, man. Like
sure, yeah.
I lost all taste and smell. Like it was crazy, bro. Like I knew something was wrong. Like whenever I was at work, and we have this hand sanitizer. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like all hand sanitizer, well, not all, but like a bunch of hand sanitizers now smell like so weird and bad.
Tequila.
And then there's this one at my job. Like it smells like just rancid feet. And like I got to work. And I had opened the door. I'm wearing a mask, and I was like, all right, let me wash my hands off with this stuff. So I did it, and then I was like, man, I can't smell it. So I pulled down my mask. I was like, man, I still can't smell this. And then I thought back to before I left to work, and I said, man, I put on deodorant, went to smell my armpits before I left. I didn't smell the damn thing. And I realized then there may be a problem.
That's insane, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just thought I didn't put any on, like it's so simple, but no, it wasn't that simple. It was no.
Well, I mean, I'm glad y'all are all okay. We got 50 songs on here, so.
Whoa, nice.
They add up pretty quick when you got the whole band together. When it's 1 or 2 people, but when everybody's here, it adds up pretty quick.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming on. Thank y'all very much. And
thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was a blast. It's good to do things as a band again.
For sure, man.
Honestly,
hopefully tours will come back soon, man. Man, this shit is
for real. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all, man. Y'all have a good day.
You too, man.
All right, later, bro.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
This song is called Wayfinder by The Thought Life. If you dig it, you can find them at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at The Thought, THOUGHT.